You see a Magneto, you see a triple Vanguard actually for Zero Tenacity.
Yeah, and I mean, Zero Tenacity, they kind of, you know, telegraphed this saying, like, yeah, we're going to run triple Vanguard, but it puts a lot of pressure on the Newton early on here. We'll see what Newton's going to be able to get done here on the Hela for now. Both teams trading out. Neither team two wouldn't be here just yet. We take a look at things, just swinging away, and already first pickoff in favor of Zero Tenacity. Stucky able to get the Luna, and you lose a strategist that early, Vest. It kind of forces a bit of a backup.
It does. I mean, this is just have to play very, very slow here for Virtus.pro. They don't want to lose more picks. They don't want to get staggered, as Ducky moving so aggressively here, trying to find more. And I like the usage here of the Magneto is just, I mean, a lot of pressure here on Defy, onto Sparker to try to make them turn around.
And already trading out here alt-wise, Newton able to take down Sparker right away. Air Tear gets the BRB onto Doctor Strange. And look, Zero Tenacity, they blow both strategist ults here, but for now, they get to hold on to the point. They're at 40% control. They back out a little bit as VP burns a bit of their ult bank. But for now, Zero Tenacity is actually in a really, really nice spot here, Fast, as you take a look at this. Now, VP decides, okay, we want to try and push this out entirely. Fate of Both Worlds going to be used, but on the same note, the Strange is able to take down Finzi. VP just continues to bleed players here, but Sparker with the horn evens things out.
By turning around, making sure not to get those projectiles absorbed. You see they're still fighting here on the point. Just going to be that Goddess of Death for Newton coming out now, trying to find some, but Sparker, I think, opening up with the combo. Alongside Drijo, getting the damage boost out for the Horn of Proteus. Should be the cleanup now for Virtus.
Both the Magneto and Newton have just been really good at finding early opening picks here so far. Clobbering time, though. He'll be dropped here by Nevik, setting the tone, gets rid of the opposing thing, and with that early pick, you know, it helps things out, but the BRB gets them back into play, and Nevik falls in turn, so still winnable here for Zero Tenacity. Invisible Boundary gonna be dropped. Zero Tenacity trying to push forward. Virtus.pro responding insane. So boundaries are out. Looking now over here, the Sparker has the horn in reserve, waiting, looking for the opportunity. Under pressure, getting forced back just a little bit. Horn gonna be dropped over to the side, gets one pick. It's good enough.
I mean, with that pick, it should be pretty much here the cleanup again, and that's really well played. They're just gonna have to be TPing back here, yeah. And this is where Virtus.pro, what do? You're gonna have to play it slow, look for some value from the meter in potentially, just to absorb some of this damage, keep you on the point. Is that Zero Man? No, it's a one man.
Goes in now. Look at Finzi, drop the Meteor M, and it actually connects, takes down Gainer. However, Newton responds in kind, gets Finzi out of the fight. Still winnable here for Zero Tenacity. Take a look at Fee here on the backside. Gonna use the Goddess of Death. Looking, and a little bit of a Goddess of Death battle here. Where
well, the health battle much better for Fi.
Well,
the Astral Flock. Can they find one? I mean, right now, this is just a pick. We're just waiting for a pick CP. Like, anyone gets a pick first. The ults are relatively equal. Meteorium doesn't find value. They just need to find something. They need to live. And there it is. Newton found.
Nevik is able to chase down Newton. So you're down Newton. Things are going to be really difficult for Zero Tenacity here. They drop the Invisible Boundary. It's going to buy them a little bit of time. But the question is, who's going to get pickoff for you right now in the moment? You know, maybe you're looking towards Ducky to do something. But VP, they have Fate of Both Worlds. They drop it. Now get to move forward. Still at the man advantage here. And Zero Tenacity starting to get whittled down a bit. Clobbering time is up for Lugia. If Lugia can drop it in time, but instead, the horn comes out, takes down Winnie. BRB brings him right back up. Fee, though, able to take down Lugia at the same time. So VP winning the trades here as time is ticking down 99% to 68.
And they do it again, Virtus.pro. They just show the power of their overall coordination. There's such good ult tempo for them. VP just sticking with more of the same, though, with Lindsay going to the Doctor Strange, which makes sense, have the cloak levitation. So Zero Tenacity trying to look for the follow-up, trying to find just a setup currently, because you don't really want to play counter dive here with Hulk. You definitely want to try to find something.
Well, last time Zero Tenacity was really good in neutral. They drop the Sia at the beginning here. Getting a little bit more damage boost for the team. Going to help in looking for early pickoffs. Still a window of opportunity. Finzi, though, drops on in, drops the Agamotto. Is any fall through going to be there? Zero Tenacity, they can't save Error. Error goes down. Fi able to find it on the outside. And Zero Tenacity now down one. Agamotto up for them if they want to drop it in turn. They lose Newton, though, and down this many of us, it's time to hold and go back.
Yeah, just a bit of an ult bank disadvantage there. Zero Tenacity. Tough though with Sparker Drijo with that combo. The frozen spawn just gives so much sustain. Ooh, just so much counter dive possibility. Oh my lord!
No.
Well,
it looks so good and then so bad when you just get CC'd and can't actually get your shield up and get burned down. But the BRB does bring Lugia back to the fray. The problem is, while waiting, VP just pushes forward. They take down two, and it just completely ruins any momentum Zero Tenacity might have had opening in there. Only upside though, only 40% for VP here so far. Still time for Zero Tenacity to work with.
Taking some fast fights are good. Removing some ults, which is very crucial, as they make sure Finzi has to be careful. Doesn't get caught.
No, I don't think the BRB was even set up
yet.
yet.
They wanted the BRB.
Like, you weren't expecting that to happen as Fi just works on the outside, finds Newton, and things have gone from bad to worse here. This is a full team wipe and also very economical.
Instead, she's going to be getting some of that damage mitigation, hoping to cleave through this man. But I mean, Fi playing so aggressively, just not letting them walk in. And this is what Virtus.pro, they love to do. They love to not let you walk in at all. There's a Hornet Proteus too, just to make sure. I mean, dropping multiple ults, and I mean, that's round. Now they're going to have to stagger back the point unless a miracle happens. A miracle would have to occur.
It would be ridiculous. We'll see if they're able to touch. Newton just gets caught again. And oh no, the block. Finzi just says, no. How about you just don't leave your spot? With the Rocket team up, if nothing else, it is tank busting and maybe the ticket here versus Tenacity. But Newton, though, finds Nevix early on. Everyone's getting punished.
I mean, they're using, just using that infinite grit, getting the infinite ammo there to Newton to make sure they can try to just... Okay, they put Fi here onto the Winter Soldier as well. They just try to find one, trying to find the hook there. There's going to be, there it is. They're trying to find anything with the punish roll. Nothing. Amp out there, finally. Newton down. I think that's probably going to break it open now, just bursting through.
Yeah,
the falling here on the choke.
The BRB is nowhere near enough to repair
the EP there for Gainer up to the high ground. A lot of ults coming online for Zero Tenacity. No one gets found by the force physics. Oh, wait, but Lugia going down, getting found, gonna go down. I mean, just a horrible pool situation there for the contest. Trying to stay alive as long as they can. Crack an impact. Can they get one?
Fi going on in, Kraken impact used, looking for a little bit more, gets the reset one more time, drops up and over, and it is a clean sweep for VP. Fi.
They might want to try to do it. Lugio taking a lot of damage. I mean, what? I guess they have a BRB here, so they can bring him back, but it's just some ult feed, I guess, a little bit. As now Virtus.pro coming on in.
Yo, man made of rock, go over there, check that corner. I'm gonna die. It's like, yeah, our tech will bring you back. It's totally fine. But yeah, VP right now, finding their foot and rolling along. Ducky holding on to the meter M, Lugia with the clobbering time. Sia gonna be dropped here immediately by VP. Sparker back into the fray. Gainer, though, able to find Fi early on. Decent poke coming out here from Zero Tenacity as we enter the second point. VP already dropped an invisible boundary here relatively early on. Both teams with the boundary. As Ducky moves forward, still holding on the Meteor M, waiting for the opportunity. VP still being held back, just poking in from their spawn, about to be back to full strength. The clobbering time, though, comes on in and leads Ducky to his doom. Nevix setting the tone.
They're gonna commit the punish roll. They're gonna commit the final judgment here. I mean, there isn't a strategist ult, but Newton just gonna go down. Sure, gets one for his trouble, but just get one.
I think they do just drop the Sia and then go for the Meteor M right away. Nevix, though, trying to make the doorway as unappetizing as possible. Fi, meanwhile, here in the back, infinite grip, powering them on up. Kraken impact, good to go. Meteor M gonna get dropped. Nothing happened from that. Oh, meanwhile, Ducky with his Meteor M with two gets Saipei and Sparker down, and that's one way.
Okay, we used the invisible boundary late. We have to survive through this. Exactly what we're gonna do. Save the clobbering time to maybe find a pick. I mean, they're definitely not for saving the pick. They're definitely not.
Yeah, I mean, they use the clobbering time to set up the final judgment. Let Sparker just let it rip. VP, a very sizable advantage in this fight here so far. Sparker still just laying in the damage. The grit, it's infinite. And you just look at the thing going around being like, why am I here? What am I doing? It's cosmically enhanced rock.
It's cosmically enhanced. Oh, I see. It's a little cosmically enhanced rock. So there's going to be the TP coming on in.
It's not bad. They actually do get right back
immediately found. I mean, immediately found. No.
Yeah, Newton does get back up from BRB, but the problem is, like, in the period while he's down, Lugia gets bursted. Fi in with the Kraken impact. Gets a full of Agamotto actually getting taken down, stops the resets in their tracks, but the rest of VP still pretty darn healthy here. Vast and Fi gets brought back in by the BRB. It's looking like second point about done.
The shield as well for the bulwark.
I mean, while it's VP's been in control, it hasn't been entirely one side. However, with Gainer getting caught here in the middle, it does set this fight off on a tough go. But okay, Gainer off the BRB, takes down Nevix, who's a little bit deep. I don't think a BRB was up for Nevix in turn, so ZT working with a 6-on-5 advantage right now. Now for VP, do you invest the boundary? Do you keep momentum, or do you back on out? You have to decide. You drop the infinite grit, and now for Sparker just looking for a little bit of damage. Final judgment in tow, waiting and waiting. Zero Tenacity, meanwhile, back up. They drop the Sia of their own. Invisible boundary ready to go. Final Judgment in right now from Sparker. Sparker looking for anything. Boundary drops in response. For now, just laying in the damage as Newton takes him down. One Judgment for another. Zero Tenacity up one. The BRB brings Sparker back in, but they lose 5 in the interim. And ZT right now, Vast looking really, really good.
I mean, they just, both Punishers said, let's duel in the town square. We'll see you at high noon. Like, is that both of them just unloading into each other in the invisible boundaries? Great focus fire there for Zero Tenacity. Managed to back out away from the infinite grid. Amplifier used for side play. Hopefully they can find one. They need to find one with the Amplifier, ideally, so they can keep the momentum.
Well, Nevix goes in, checks his watch, drops 2 immediately. Newton's back into the fray, but now the bounce power has changed. VP up about 3 players right now, continuing moving forward. Zero Tenacity now trying to back up. They don't want to get super staggered here, Vast, but it might not be about getting this to completion. Now for ZT, the question is, how do you even get out? They're looking for the opportunity. They're going to have to use Ivagamoto just to get out and over, but they're just getting stymied by Nevix. Gainer, slowly but surely, coming over to the back. Lands a decent Ivagamoto. Fall through is there, onto the rocket. One of the better picks you could get, but can Gainer get out with his life right now? Able to back on out. Gets the heals. Ducky gets onto the Invisible Woman. And ZT, they actually get on out.
Incredible awareness there from Zero Tenacity. I mean, Gainer goes to the back, finds 2 squishies with the Ivagamoto. Exactly what they needed. They just didn't have anything to peel. They didn't have the strategy up just in time, and they find Drijo before they get the invisible boundary. So that means ZT, Zero Tenacity, barring a miracle, I mean, this is a hold. This is going to be a hold here in the OT, and off the Ivagamoto, I mean, it just looked potentially over there coming out of the spawn. There's so much damage.
It's disruption across the board. Sparker nearly going down. Sparker just barely able to get out of the fray. Newton continuing to lay in the damage now, perhaps going through the portal. Goes through the portal, uses his own zip line. Now up over the top, swap the shotgun, and gone. Sparker had enough of that.
I mean, plus 100 style points, minus 100 aura points. Unfortunately, no, BRB's used for both squads. There's some of the flank battle for 5. Trying to get the isolation on the Newton is Zero Tenacity. Getting the Amplifier up, getting the boundary up. I mean, can they push through? Can they find a pitch?
And Sparker got caught. Gainer was able to get to the back, gets on the Sparker, even with the boundary dropped. So up 1, no BRB in place. ZT now just rushing into VP in turn, looking for any extra picks.
They have the pirate ship, there it is. All cannons broadsiding. Can they get back out the touch? Finzi gonna get the touch. Meter him as well to keep him up. If they want Gainer trying to keep him at the choke, they need to find one. Can they find any?
Well, they go for the Goss of Death in the backline. Newton falling right after. Finzi falling up from damage from the Goss of Death. However, BRB gonna get Newton right back into play. Zero Tenacity still at 6. VP looking for a way back in. Some on the point, some still stuck in the choke. Sparker, final judgment, burns down the thing, takes down Newton. This Punisher is not going down, Avast, and it is cleaning up ZT.
Oh, beautiful bulwarks as well onto Sparker. They try to make it back in. 5 probably gonna go in the backline, but
the invisible boundary that they're going to pop real early in this fight in all likelihood, especially as Lugia is getting pummeled. Still, they're able to keep Lugia up. No boundary up yet just now. Now they drop the boundary on to the convoy. VP going to get forced to back up a little bit. Nevix has the clobbering time in tow. So now for Nevix, do you walk forward, drop clobbering time before you get to the apex? 1 meter left to go. Nevix, clobbering time. Final judgment from Sparker. Is the fall through going to be there? So far, 2. And the BRB is not going to be enough to fix this one, Avast.
I mean, perfect. CYA opens up and force a strategy ult early.
I mean, I think ideally for them, they drop the CYA, go Meteor M. They do just that. And now, is this Meteor M going to hit anything? To the back line, Gainer able to find Sparker. And that may have to be enough. Meteor M, though, from Finzi. Out in turn, doesn't get anything. No. VP, invisible boundary already dropped. Sia about to fade. Lugia, clobbering time needs to be dropped here in just a moment. Got his death ready to go with it. Clobbering time is dropped. VP, Dredro able to get away from it. Now they drop the Goss of Death. It's going to be more damage coming in towards VP side as they try and just get the convoy where it needs to be. 3 meters away. Nevix goes down. They get in terms of now heading back out. VP lost some of their free regroup time. And now look at ZT again being really aggressive, using their triple Vanguard to try and deny space. VP though, they've had enough. Final judgment from Sparker again, dealing great damage, but on the same note, they lose 5 early, but it's not going to be enough. The final judgment is still going, Avasted. You just can't give a Punisher this much room.
You're just going to get vaporized. I mean, we're just going to see the water cycle. I mean, that was it. There was the evaporation happening right there.
Oh, and Fi gets Newton in the Hella v Hella. Not what you want to happen here for ZT, where you're already fighting against the clock.
I mean, look, there it comes. It's going to come again. Probably drop a Soul Drainer. Try to look to find one strategist, maybe a Punisher. There it is. Wait, the Guardian Shield. Perfect. Perfect Guardian Shield blocks that.
Yep, goes for the Goss of Death and still gets Newton. I mean, the backline assault does its work. Fi goes on a deep mission, comes out with results, and now 25 seconds left. ZT team fight. Finzi perhaps thinks otherwise with the portals, the convoy. Zero Tenacity coming out here on the Hulk. So let's see if this pays
triple
dividends.
Vanguard. Triple Vanguard, I mean, just having a lot of damage here, having the Hulk give this some of the guard, fight for the high ground really aggressively into Virtus.pro, who's playing more of a 2-2 setup.
Yeah, and I mean, VP, they're running with something more standard. They're running with the more Luna in response. Right now, just trying to hold the door. As we see Zero Tenacity's trying to get through, but Lugia real close to getting burst down, get heals back up in time. I think that was a regeneration domain that just got Lugia back into the fray, so really nicely timed coming on in from Winnie. Both teams still at full. Gonna see the Sia getting dropped here. Side pay finally hits pay dirt, gets rid of Gainer. However, the BRB gonna bring him right back into play. The effective rocket right now on both sides, but already it's gonna be a quick God Mischief being popped here by Winnie into Fate of both worlds. As ZT gives himself a little bit of survivability, looking for that all-important first pick. VP though counters insane here, Vast, as both teams right now still looking for advantage. Ducky has the clobbering time ready to go. Nevik still yet to build. Clobbering time, where's this gonna be? Hulk dropping his ult too. Zero Tenacity, all ult's gonna get dropped over and in. VP though withstanding as you take a look at Spark right now, laying the damage on the Winter Soldier. 3 down, and the Kraken impact will surely seal the deal.
I mean, the ult tempo is just so good there for Virtus.pro. Tempo just waited to drop that Kraken impact late in the fight, and that's what I've talked about before again and again, especially for top teams, but especially for Virtus.pro, that they're just so good with that.
Clobbering time dropped here early from Nevix. The follow through instantly there from Sparker and Fi, and the fight is over before it begins. And you know, the real ugly thing here for Zero Tenacity of us is the fact that that first fight, I mean, check Finzy's portals. No, they're
oh yeah, I mean,
wait, they're trying to interrupt. Look at the dive here. It got the interrupt.
They've done it. They hit the mind games there. It's very similar to what you've seen for like teams like Sentinels did something in a match as well, where they dropped the portal underneath them, so then they all walked forward to get to the portal. Having Luna Snow, some ults available for both sides here. Zero Tenacity does have the advantage, so if they want to, they could try to win it very early.
Well, I think they're going to do that. Just that they open up with the Clobbering time. Sparker though, Kraken impact in turn. No reset off it though, even though Winnie falls down. So, Fi able to get on the Newton. 2 down here for ZT, and I mean for ZT, you've used Fate of both worlds, but you may just be delaying yourself here. You're probably not going to win this fight. Down members, you're desperately looking for a pick off. It's not going to come in. Instead, you need the reset and first cap again, going the way of VP.
And unfortunately, just not getting an early
ult's ready to go. Lugia just waiting for the right opportunity. Probably got to drop on over here and immediately drop ult, win low HP. Meanwhile, though, Nevik just goes to the backline, drops the clobbering time, and sets up Sparker for 3. The fight's already over.
Especially in recap testing here on a domination style map, is now Zero Tenacity making their way back in, trying to find something. Aya Bagamoto, not quite. You're just gonna get bubbled off.
Yeah, I mean, you get the Fate of both worlds to response. 5-man. Meanwhile, drops the whale, finds Newton early. Finzy, Aya Bagamoto in turn, enough to take down Winnie, and the ZT backline just decimated here at Vast. At 80%, Invisible Boundary gonna be dropped. ZT still just looking for anything left in the tank, but you lose Lugia. You're down your strategist ult. It's 90%. VP about to re-enter the money match once more. It's looking like Zero Tenacity is out of gas.
Simply just not enough here across the board. Well played at points, but the chase down continues as Virtus.pro, they are going to be taking their way back to the